BassResinator here with some cute molds. These are snails, but they're missing their shell. They have a little concave area in their back, and that's to hold a sphere. So I'm going to pour. This is always a hard one to get in there, and I don't know why they don't make that type of lip for the smaller ones, but that's all the smaller ones have that size, and then the bigger ones all go up with this type of a lip. Much easier to pour into. But I'm going to try and make something that looks like a world, some type of planet. It's got something going on inside, and I'm going to be using Picasso alcohol inks, terracotta, parakeet green, turquoise, and then a sinker white. In these, though, after I pour this, this is going to go in clear, and then I'm going to wait a while, and I'm going to come back and put in those inks. But in these, after I pour the spheres, I'm going to mix in purple, violet, shimmering alcohol ink and stir it up. And it does really cool stuff. And that's going to be the body of the snails. So I didn't know how much to mix up. So still got some bubbles. I did not put this through the anti-bubble chamber, vacuum chamber. But hopefully the bubbles will dissipate. This is Bondcrafter Art resin. I'm not going to fill them all the way up. When you get close, I'm going to have to pull this one over here so that I can. It's hard to get into that tiny space without spilling all over the place. And I don't want to do that. I do not know how much those snail molds hold at all. So what I'm going to do to make the world like little living worlds is I'm going to do like a petri effect, but it's on a deeper scale. Okay, now got to mix up this shimmering alcohol ink, because what causes it to shimmer is some type of sediment down on the bottom, and if you don't mix that up, it's just purple. And I want the shimmer. And whoops, bumped the whole shooting match here. Watch what happens right in here when I dump this. I need to get my pliers to loosen this lid. There's something about this alcohol ink that if it spills around the edge, it gets down in there. It's like glue. Now watch this shimmer. Bam. And then it'll sit there and dance and do all kinds of stuff. It's super cool. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do 7 drops of that. But this shimmering alcohol ink is very similar to the metallic alcohol inks that Let's Resin makes. And when you mix those into the resin like this, instead of just putting them on the top when I dumped it in there or dropped those drops in there, they take on a life of their own that is totally different than if they're just sitting on the top. You'll see what I mean. It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's really cool though. Just looks like purple right now. I don't know. It's got some little, for lack of a better word, eye turrets. And I don't know how to get them down in there. Use my, put a little bit in this one too. I don't think these are going to hold very much resin. I may have a whole bunch of that left over. This is serious thick mold, and I cannot squeeze the bubbles out, but I'm able to force it out. Okay, that one is clear. Come on now. There, that one is done. What I'm doing is just causing a vacuum with this little silicone tool here, and it's sucking the resin back in. This is the time I need to have a second camera going so you can see what I'm doing down here. Come on now. Get out of there. There's a little tiny bubble. And I don't know if he would come out on his own or not. Okay. I did get the bubbles out. I don't know. See, you can see it. The right down in there. You can see the purple has gotten down in there. Now, get these centered on the camera. Let me do the little one first. Ooh, almost too much. It is too much. Yeah. Making a mess. I got a, this black is silicone matte, so if it falls down on there, not a problem. Okay, now okay, there's a little dome on that. Now, since I have so much left over, I've got these little cute little balloon doggy molds. Problem is I don't have anything that can clip and hold that, because if you don't keep it closed, it's going to have this solid thing between its legs, and it looks really, really weird. And I have to squeeze in the schnoz to get the bubbles out. think it's in there. Now, squeeze the tail. Make sure that doesn't have any air. And I have a little tiny one over here too. Oy. Almost disaster. Now what I have found works is lean this up, since I don't have anything to hold onto it like that. Lean it up against, or push it into another mold, and then push another solid object up against this side to clamp that, so that it's not quite as much resin in between the front legs and the back legs. There's the little bubble from the back. Okay, it popped. There's the bubble coming up from the nose. Stay up there. Okay, so now dog hair on there. And I'll prop these guys up against something to close that little gap. Okay, now I have a heavy silicone mold that will push up against that little one. Close that gap. And a bigger silicone mold will hold up against the bigger one. Okay, well, I will come back to you when it's time to unmold. We'll see ya. It's a snail world after all. I'll do the... Let me see what temperature that is in there. Yeah, when that... Oh. That one's 84. That one's 90. Okay, they are ready for their colors, so I can show you that. Don't want to have a ton of color. but I do want some color in there. But it's not ready for the white. And sinker white will have to take about 15 or 20 minutes from now before I can do anything with it. Okay, I will see you when it's time to unmold. And I'm going to drop 3 drops of white into each one, and then use my trusty toothpick tool and just push through it so that it'll start spreading down and causing really cool effects. Okay, I'll see you when it's time to unmold. Well, these cured up, and I didn't wait to take them out of the molds because all of these molds, the spheres, the dogs, are a chore to get out, and I didn't think you needed to sit there and watch me. I struggled with this one for 7 minutes. I put soap in there. You can see I rinsed out with the water. I've got it upside down over here. It was just a lot of work, and it was not coming out. I finally got it, but it's a pain. These dogs, I got them out, and I did have to trim a little bit underneath, but not much. But no bubbles in the nose or the tail. Really cute. And when you put those up again, let me see if I can do it with this. That light behind it, actually a white light would be better, but I don't have one of those flashlights. But you can see it's kind of a dark color, but there are hints of that purple. So sitting on top of a light source would be good. Anyway, those are cool. Now, the snails, I did not know how hard it was going to be, and I thought, oh man, I'm going to have problems getting those antennae thing off. Nope. Once it came out, it just popped right out. It was like nothing. I got a little overflow right here. Got that taken care of. Just like that. But yeah, those came out really relatively easy. And the spheres, I did something. See, the colors are all there, and they weren't spreading down. They were just sort of hanging around the edge, and I thought, and I was poking through and everything. Nothing was going. I thought, well, let me drop in some, I got some little stones. I dropped them through. Look at the effect that has. It's kind of cool. But whenever you make spheres, and this one, that white came up and did some weird stuff, they're not completely round. They have this flat bottom, and that helps them sit. However, these will accept a round bottom because of that thing. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of UV resin in there to using my bond crafter, just to not round it very much, but it will help round a little bit. Okay, now set that over here and put it on its mold upside down. I can see a bubble happening. I don't know if this one will sit upside down on its own mold. No, it's too small of a hole. Something got stuck on the side there. Don't know what. Hope there's nothing wrong with the mold. Anyway, I'll put this one on that other one's mold because it should sit on there okay. Trying to get it just right, and I could use a little bit more. Not much. There. That's all it needed. Now, to put it under and I'll come back to you when that's finished and I'll show you how they'll sit on here. I am not going to affix them permanently to these little snails. So if you want to swap them out or put something else there, you can do that. But I'll be right back. Okay, the spheres are rounded on the bottom. Sort of. Better than they were. But it's hard to see with because I got black gloves on and I got a black surface. You know what? I got a Kleenex right here. It is white. There. Can you see that? With the spores coming through. Really looks cool. You know, I did. That other one had something on it. And I just went across it. There was some, I don't know what it was, but it came right off. And there we go. But this will sit right on the snail. And I'll get some better shots. I'll put the little one down too. Let me hold it sideways. Yeah. I'm seeing one thing and you can't see it very well. Well, I'll get some really good stills to go along with this. I'm gonna have to because you can't see anything. Okay, so they're on there. It's a snail world after all. It's a snail world after all. Oh, I know how I can do this. It's a snail world after all. It's a snail world. I can take it off and put these molds behind. Yeah. Okay, pause. There. So you can see those spore things coming through there. Cool. Yeah, I'll get some other shots with better backgrounds and stuff. But yeah, cool. So it's a snail world. Remember. Well, remember. If you are one of my subscribers, I need to remember to thank you for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, think about it. And if you decide you would like to subscribe, it's free. Coolness. Let me get these little dogs around here. And if you do subscribe, let me get this guy on this side. There we go. If you do subscribe, right next to the subscribe button is a little button with a bell. If you click that, then anytime I do something new, you'll be notified. So yeah. So thanks for being here today. Stick around for some still shots. Bye.